Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful. And every day of my life is filled with loving you. You know, I've never really been a big fan of Valentine's Day. To me, it's always been a day like every other. I never got the everybody's wearing red and white, and giving out gifts and receiving shit. Maybe it's my cynical self pissed that I never got a Valentine's Day gift. But then I think about it and I'm like, I actually did get a couple of gifts. Valentine just was never a thing for me. Until Kate of Chapter Kate decided that this month's Valentine will be different. Instead of celebrating Valentines, we'll be celebrating vaLITines, which, as far as I'm concerned, one was brilliant on Valentine, but also because I love books so much. Every day of my life is filled with loving them, like Minnie Riperton said. And I was like, I definitely want to participate. So yes, this is my TBR for the Valentine Readathon. Hello everybody, Noria back again. So February is going to be a month of readathons for me, and the next readathon I am going to be participating in, hopefully, fingers crossed that I actually score the bingo card, is Valentine's, created by Kate of Chapter Kate. If you're not following Kate, please go check her channel out. She's amazing, she's funny, I love her. So it's a February long readathon, and you would understand why, because there are a lot of challenges and a lot of books to get through. Now, on the 28th of February, there'll be a live show hosted by Kate, of course, and then the rest of our co-hosts. There's Princess of Castle Library, there's Leah Jane of Word of Leah Jane, there is Sarah of Serendipity, she's on Twitter. Last co-host is Kathy of Kathy Tried Hard. Now, I am going to link the original announcement video somewhere up here so you could check it out, and I'm going to leave it down below as well. You can check that out, as well as the list of books I'm going to be reading and every other thing, just in case you missed anything. But yeah, the whole plan is to get through 25 challenges all throughout the month of February to get the bingo card. Okay, so the very first challenge says cold shower. Read a book that is rumored to have a steamy scene. And for me, I will be going with Sin and Tonic by Rhys Ford. Now, this is no rumor about it. I know there will be several steamy scenes because it's Rhys Ford, and she does what she does best, which is give me high quality smut. Now, Sin and Tonic is the 6th book in the Sinners series, which is one of my favorite Rhys Ford series. I love those books. I think it's because it's all about rock stars, and I love music, and Mickey is a feisty, scrappy, brilliant, talented, but at the same time very cynical, slightly acerbic, but you just know that he just wants to be pampered and loved. Like, he has a dog named Dude. Like, what's not to love about Mickey? Yes, so it's the last book in the series. I've had it now for about I think 5-6 months, and I've been putting it off because I didn't want the series to be over, but now I'm ready to read it. And based on the rest of the books in the series, I am certain that Mickey and Morgan will have a lot of steamy scenes, which is what I am living for. The next challenge says love song. Write a poem or a song to your book, or to something in your book, or to something bookish. Now, my go-to would have been to write a love poem for, the love of my life, either Six of Crows or The Poppy War. But I am guessing the love song / poem has to be to one of the books in my Valentine TBR, so I'll probably figure that out as I go along. The next poem says roses are red. Read a book with red on the cover, and for that I am going with Heartless by Marissa Meyer. That cover is stunning. That cover has thorns. That cover has red, and I want to read it. And I know it's a retelling of Alice in Wonderland, or from the perspective of the Queen of Arts, and I'm looking forward to reading it because that sounds fantastic. Next challenge says beautiful on the shelf. Read a book with a beautiful cover, and for that I'll be reading Everfair by Nisty Shawl. I'm like, look at that cover. That is stunning, beautiful. It's a historical fantasy, historical fiction, steampunk novel, all about what would happen if the Congolese had gotten wind of steam technology before the Belgians are arrived, and how that would play out with regards to the Belgian colonization of the Congo. It sounds like it's going to be a fantastic book, and I am looking forward to reading it. The next challenge is framing the fave. Take a picture of your favorite book and post it on social media, and I'm looking forward. I think the problem will not be which of my favorite books would I take a picture of, because this is gonna be hard. The next challenge says gift that keeps on giving. Read a book that you received as a gift, and for that I'm going with this book, The Snowman by Joe Nesbo. It's a thriller about a serial killer who targets mothers and wives and basically takes them every time the snow comes. And I've had this for like forever, and I figured that might be a good time to get into it, you know, just to like cut through all the constant romance action I'm going to be like delving into this month, or rather in the month of February. The next challenge is heartwarming. Read a book that you feel will warm your heart or that has warmed your heart in the past. And for that, I'll be going with To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. Now, I have not read the book yet, but I do know that a lot of people have great things to say about it, and I know how the movie made me feel, all warm and fuzzy, and I'm hoping and guessing that the book will do the same, if not better. Next challenge says Forgotten Love. Read a book that you've DNF'd. Now, I don't DNF books. I find it physically painful, but I will stick with it to the end and then maybe throw it somewhere and never read it again. But I do not DNF books. So what I'm going to do is pick a book that I have had on my shelf forever, that I practically forgot, and finally get around to reading it. And for that, I am once again bringing up The Snowman by Joe Nesbo. I have had this book on my shelf now for, I think, it's been 4 years, which is a long time for me to go without reading a book. And I'm guessing the book feels a bit neglected. So this might be a good time to finally show it some love. The next challenge is Black History Month. Read a book by a Black author. And for that, I'm going with Becoming by Michelle Obama. I have the audiobook read by Michelle herself, and I'm looking forward to hearing her tell her story. And I know it's going to be engaging because it's Michelle, guys. It's Michelle. The next challenge is Puppy Love. Read a middle grade book. And for that, I'll be going with Dragon Pearl by Yoon Ha-hee. This is basically a book that delves into Korean mythology, to be precise, Korean fox spirits. So a Korean equivalent of the Japanese kitsune. I've always loved fox spirit stories. I love reading about them, whether they are in Korean mythology or in Japanese mythology or even Native American mythology. I always find fox spirits fascinating. And this is a middle grade novel about a girl who has had to hide her fox spirit nature all her life because her mother is worried about what will happen if people find out that they are fox spirits. And then her brother, I think her brother goes missing, searching for something, some treasure, and she decides to set out after him and learns a bit more about herself along the way. It just sounds like it's going to be a sweet read, and I'm looking forward to reading it. Then there's the next challenge, Living Single. Read a standalone novel, and for me that would be An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. I don't really know much about the book. I do know that it features Faye, and I think our lead character makes a painting of the Fae Prince and captures the age and sadness and sorrow in his eyes, which is apparently a big no-no because, you know, the Fae like their secrets and they always appear young and beautiful. And I guess he kidnaps her as a result of it. The next prompt says together forever. Buddy read a book with someone. This is easy. There are so many books I'm reading this month. I'm certain I'll be able to find someone who is willing to buddy read with me. So let me just put this out there. If you'd like to buddy read, this February, just let me know down in the comments. I will be sure to get in touch with you. We'll see which books I have on my TBR that correlates with books you have on your TBR, and we'll see about giving it a whirl. The next challenge says use hashtag vaLITines on social media, and that we should not forget to at the Twitter handle at @BT_vaLITines, which should be easy because I'm going to have thoughts and I'm going to want to sharing it, and like I said, the hosts are fantastic. I'm looking forward to interacting with them all throughout the month. Next challenge says by any other name, read a banned book. For me that would still be Sin and Tonic by Reese Ford, just because it is a gay book and homosexuality is illegal in Nigeria. So yes, I think that Sin and Tonic, given the circumstances, we count as a banned book. The next challenge says to the ends of the earth, read a translated work, and for me that would be The Art of War by Sun Tzu, translated by Thomas Cleary. Now, this is another book I've had for like forever. I've been wanting to read it, but I keep putting it off. And this seems a good as time as any to read it. I'm certain most of you know what The Art of War is about, but it's basically all about managing conflict, confrontation, and competition. It's a book all about strategy, ancient Chinese strategy that I think is fitting for everyday life because competition and conflict exists all around us. And it's always good to be able to have words of wisdom that predates you by 2,000 years to help guide your choices and your decisions. Now, this is a book I'm definitely going to slowly take my time to read because it seems to me like it's going to be chock full of so much knowledge, and I want to take it in slow sips all throughout the entire month. The next challenge says read cozy. Read in your coziest clothing or blanket. The next challenge says 5 stars. Read a book a friend, foe, or someone else in your life has rated 5 stars. And for that, I will go with a book that practically everybody in the booktube community likes giving 5 stars, or rather give 5 stars. It's A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. Now, I was meant to have read this entire trilogy this month, but this month I was not able to get to it, and I know I will not be able to get to it by the end of the month, so I'm moving it to February. So yes, I am looking forward to reading it, and I'm looking forward to seeing if the hype is worth it. Now, what is this book about? I really do not know that much. I would rather not know that much. I do know though that there are 4 different Londons, and there's a magician who can jump across worlds, and yeah, that's basically it. I do know that one of the London does not have magic, or is it one of them that has magic? I don't know. I have no idea, but I would definitely love to find out when I read it. The next prompt says where you go, I go. Take a book everywhere you go in a day and read it in different places. Now, I am looking forward to doing this because I already do it, but now I'm going to get to document it because it's only fitting that I share the pictures with you all. So, yeah. That's what I'm going to be doing. Taking pictures of myself reading books in the weirdest and strangest of places and having a blast doing it. Next challenge says more to love. Read a book with over 400 pages. And for that, I'll be going with Lilith's Brood by Octavia E. Butler. Now, this book is at about 746 pages, which makes it almost double the number. It is going to be a crazy read, but I have heard that the book is fantastic. It's a science fiction masterpiece. Octavia E. Butler tells a story about, I think, alien life forms merging with mankind in order to save mankind after mankind was destroyed through war. And we see all of this through the eyes of our protagonist, Lilith Yapu. So definitely looking forward to it. It sounds like a trip because apparently the aliens are mankind's children. Next challenge says bubble bath. Read in a bubble bath. Now, I do not have a bubble bath, unfortunately. So I reached out to Kate and she said no problem. I can always modify the challenge. I can get myself a new lotion, something that smells nice, and I can use it while reading my book. So for those of you that do not have bathtubs and still want to participate, you can just get yourself a new scented lotion and you're good. The next challenge says happily ever after, read a retelling, and for that I'll be going with Pride by Ibizu Boy. It's a Pride and Prejudice retelling set in, I think, Brooklyn. And I'm looking forward to reading it just because Pride and Prejudice is one of my favorite classics. I am in love with Elizabeth Bennet and I love seeing the different interpretations she gets across various mediums, whether it's through books or through movies. And even with books, I like to see different authors try and give their own interpretation to her character. The next challenge says hot date, read by candlelight. I like it, like hot date. Yes, read by candlelight. You can pick any of the books in the challenge to read by candlelight, and I'm looking forward to that because that is exactly what my romantic bookish heart needs. Next challenge says skinny love. Read a book under 200 pages, which The Art of War by Sun Tzu meets perfectly because it's just at about 170 pages. So she's lean, but she's powerful. We stand. Next challenge says sharing is caring. Read a book that meets the challenge for another readathon happening in February. Now, because I'm doing a lot of readathons this month, I'm cross-pollinating my books. So quite a lot of books I've already mentioned actually already fit this challenge. So Lilith's Brood, Sin and Tonic, Pride, Snowman, they all fit, which is perfect for me. And the final challenge is Libraries Lovers Month. Read a book from the library. Now, I don't have an active library card. I've not had that in a while. And I reached out to Kate and she said, oh, no problem, that I could just replace that with a book borrowed from a friend's personal library, which I thought was actually a pretty nice, cold touch. Thank you for constantly saving my ass through this entire process, Kate. So the book I'm choosing for that is 12 of Never by James Patterson, which I did borrow from a friend's personal library. I don't really know that much about it. I think that's how I like my thrillers, so they surprised me with the twists and turns. But I do know that our lead character is trying to, I think, solve several murders, and she's pregnant, I think. And I think she's actually like pretty far along. So I'm looking forward to reading the book and finding out exactly what it's about. That would be my TBR for vaLITines. Let me know if any of these books are on your TBR for February as well. Let me know if you'll be participating in vaLITines. Let me know what your Valentine Day plans are and if it will involve a book. I know it's stating the obvious, but please indulge me. Yeah, that is basically all. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I make new videos every Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I will see you soon. Bye.